I don't know who is more nervous, Hayden Pascal or his dad. He's already on his second cigarette, and we ain't even started the race yet. Here we go, guys. Racers ready. Marshall's ready. Everybody's going on the tone here in less than 5. And we're off and running. It's going to be Hayden Pascal leading the charge over here on the left-hand side of the track. Going to try to, he's going to open up a quick gap as he streaks away from the field. Got Carlos Sigi holding on that number 2 spot. He has got a bumper full of Mad Matt Melling in that number 2 or 3 spot. 2, 3, and 4 working their way through the keyhole over here on the left-hand side of the track now. Oh, man, what happened there in the back of the pack? Somebody got creamed. Couldn't see on the backside of that jump what happened. I don't know what car was what. All I know is 2 went flying off in the wrong direction. Carlos Sigi in that number 2. Johnny now up to that number 3. Renee in the 4. John Cate in that number 5. Matt Milling in that number 6. Gene Shroud up to the 7. Aiden Go2 in the 8. Tony Rivas in the 9. Diego in that 10. Dan Taylor in the 11. Santiago not making the start in the number 12 spot. 1 minute down, 7 minutes left to go. Hayden Pascal out in front. Got Carlos Sigi working the 2. Johnny with that number 3. There goes Hayden. Lays down his fastest lap of the race at a 33.4. Minute 15 down, 6:45 left to go. Carlos Sigi now going to lose the position here to Johnny Mejia as they come across the line. Johnny now 4.7 seconds out of the race lead. He is 0.2 of a second up on Carlos Sigi. John Cate from 9th on the starting grid up to the number 4 spot. You have 150 down, 6:10 left to go. Hayden Pascal now with a 3.2 second lead up on Johnny. He and Carlos Sigi they are doing battle right now for that number 2 and 3. Here they come on the right-hand side of the track. Here comes your race leader. A little bit of a long lap here for Hayden as he's trying to gather it back up through the humps, the bumps, and the lumps. He's got a 2.8 second lead here up on Johnny. Johnny running that all-yellow paint scheme. Definitely did not spend any of the money budget in the paint department. Keep it all in the performance side of the vehicle. Ooh. Matt Milling now back up in that number 4 spot. Thank you, Carl. Gene Shrout right now working that number 5. Gene from the B main up to the number 5. There goes Johnny waiting on Carlos Sigi. Carlos now giving up some time to Johnny here for that number 2.
Four minutes left.
All right, you're halfway there. 4 minutes down, 4 minutes left to go. Hayden Pascal in the Kyosho has now opened up a 6-second lead up on Johnny, who's into number 2. Johnny now 9.3 seconds up on Matt Milling, who's battled his way to the 3. Gene Shrout finds himself in the 4, 1.3 seconds back of that number 3 spot. Aiden Kotu battles his way up to the number 5. John Cate right there with him in the number 6. John Cate now 0.8 of a second back of Aiden. 3:30 left to go. Race number 22, Pro E-buggy, presented by Leadfinger Racing, coming up next. Currently, it's Open E-buggy, presented by Protek, currently on the track.
3 minutes left.
All right, with 2:20 left to go. Hayden Pascal, we're right now with the race lead, nearly 10 seconds up on the field. Gene Trout right now in that number 3 spot, 13 seconds back of Johnny for that number 2. Oh, man, a little bit of a long lap there for Johnny, waiting to come back to the line. He's still comfortably in that number 2 spot. Gene Trout now just now coming onto the front straightaway. Looks like Gene going to have a bumper full of Matt Milling. Matt Milling now 9/10 of a second back, working in that number 4. Battle for podium position right now, working their way through the back section of the track. Gene catches a big hole, has to check up, but keeps the car under control. That's going to allow Matt Milling to catch right back up to him after he had a small bobble through a different hole. All right, 1:30 left to go, 1:30 remaining.
One minute left.
All right, 1 minute left to go. Hayden Pascal right now with a 12-second lead up on the field. He is slicing and dicing and picking his way through some lap traffic here.
45 seconds left.
Got that Kyosho looking good.
Thirty seconds left.
With 20 seconds left to go.
Fifteen seconds left. Tony Rivas done.
All right, guys, going to race it back to the line here.
Gene J.R. done.
It's going to be Gene Trout from 12th on the starting grid all the way up to the number 3 spot. That is a potential podium finish right there.
Hayden Pascal done.
Hayden Pascal going to take the race win. Waiting on Johnny. Waiting on Johnny. Johnny going to come on with the 2 now. Waiting on Dan Taylor and Diego Bianchi for the 7 and 8.
Daniel Taylor done.
Waiting on Diego. One to finish here. Final bump up here. Going to finish up in that 8 spot.
2, 3, 1.
All right, guys, let's get them lined up. Hayden Pascal on the 1. Carlos Sigi on number 2. Matt Milling on number 3. Aiden Go-To on the 4. Johnny on that number 7. Renee Afonte on the 8. John Cade on the 9. Dan Taylor on the 10. Gene Trout on the 12. If somebody wants... All right, here we go. Racers ready. Thank you, guys, to the volunteers. Racers ready. Marshals ready on the tone in less than 5. Here we go. Race number 30 is underway. It's Open E-buggy presented by Protek. A-main number 2. Hayden Pascal took the win in A-main number 1. Going to look to secure it here in A2 as that Kyosho performed flawlessly for him in A1. Race number 31 going to be coming up next. Hayden Pascal right now in front. Carlos Sigi in that number 2 spot. Hayden Go-To in the number 3. Matt Milling in the 4. Renee Afonte in the 5. John Cade in that number 6. Santiago in that number 7. Dan Taylor in that 7 now. Gene Trout in the 8. Johnny in that number 9. Hayden Pascal with a 1.5 second lead here up on Carlos Sigi. One minute down, 7 minutes left to go. Race number 31, Pro E-buggy coming up next. Pro E-buggy up next. Hayden Pascal, Matt Milling, Aiden Kotu, 1, 2, and 3. Carlos Sigi working the 4. John Cate, 5. Hayden Pascal now with the race lead, 4.9 seconds up on Matt Milling, who's in at number 2. Aiden Kotu, now Carlos Sigi in at number 2. Aiden Kotu working the number 3. Matt Milling in the 4. John Cate holding on to the 5. John Cate 6.4 seconds back on Matt Milling for the 4. Now Rene Afonte going to move to that number 5 spot. You're now 2 minutes down, 6 minutes left to go. Pascal 4.3 seconds up on the field. Has a little bit of problem there on that little small double, almost kind of like a step-on roll-off. Not an actual true double. You have to land on the lander of it. Oh, God, our race leader rolls it upside down coming on the front straightaway. That's going to allow Carlos Sigi now to close up on his back bumper here. Hayden Pascal working his way through the double-doubles in the back. Carlos Sigi right there as well. Aiden Kotu, 1, 2, and 3, all within. Oh, man, almost jumping off of the into the infield there for Carlos. He's able to gather it back up. Aiden Kotu right there in that number 3. Kyosho right now running 1 and 2. You have the S-Works running in a 2 spot. 3 minutes down, 5 minutes left to go. Race number 31, Pro E-buggy A2 up next.
5 minutes left.
Hayden Pascal right now with a 2.3 second lead here on the field. Oh, man, Hayden Pascal now going to roll upside down. It's going to allow Carlos Sigi now to slip past. It's going to come down to a tiebreaker if it stays this way. Dan Taylor works his way to the 5. Rene Afonte at number 6. Gene Shroud holding on to the 7. Nope, Johnny now to the 7. John Cate now to the 8. There's Gene now coming across the line in the 9. You are 3:30 down, 4:30 left to go. Carlos Sigi, Aiden Kotu, Hayden Pascal, 1, 2, and 3. Matt Milling in the 4. Dan Taylor in that number 5. Rene Afonte in that number 6. Johnny in that 7. John Cate, 8. Gene, 9. Nice three-way battle here at the top of the field at the halfway mark. 4 minutes down, 4 minutes left to go. Race number 31, you're up next. .330 left to go. Carlos Sigi, Aiden Kotu right now running 1 and 2. Hayden Pascal working at number 3. Matt Milling holding on to the 4. Dan Taylor in the number 5. Rene Afonte in the 6. Carlos Sigi now opens up a 3-second lead on Aiden Kotu, who is in the number 2.
3 minutes left.
2:45 left to go. Aiden Kotu now 1.7 seconds behind Carlos Sigi as Aiden Kotu just clicked off his fast lap of the race as he breaks into the 34-second bracket, 34.5.
2 minutes left.
Time winding on down here with just over 2 minutes left to go. Or just under 2 now. .130 left to go. Hayden Kotu, 1.5 seconds behind Carlos Sigi. This could throw a huge monkey wrench into things with Hayden Kotu possibly. Oh, nope. Now he's 6.4 seconds back at the race lead with 1:15 left to go. Matt Milling now climbs up into that number 3 spot. Johnny holding on to the 4. Dan Taylor in the 5. .50 seconds left to go.
45 seconds left.
Time winding on down here with only 30 seconds remaining here. Open E-buggy presented by Protek. It's Carlos, Aiden, Matt, Johnny, and Dan, your top 5. Last race of the night coming up next, guys. Going to need all 9 of my turn marshals out here as soon as this race is over. Carlos Sigi right now with a 5.8 second lead here on the field. All righty, guys, race clock has expired. Keep going until you cross the line.
Hayden, Pascal done.
So it's going to come down to a tiebreaker here between 1 and 2. Everybody come across the line, get their official times in.
Johnny Mejia done. Daniel Taylor done.
Waiting on Carlos Sigi. Hayden Kotu.
Carlos Segui done.
Waiting on Gene Trout.
John Kate done.
All right, race number 31.